What's up, slappers? This is an emergency. We have been backstabbed. I recently discovered that some very famous bass lines we all love actually have never been played on bass, ever. We thought these legendary bass lines were played on bass, but actually were not. Slap like now if you're shocked. In this video we're gonna discover and expose all these bass lines. I promise you, you're gonna feel betrayed. But do you know who is never gonna betray you? Me. If you subscribe now, thanks. Let's start this first episode of OMG, I thought this was bass, but actually it is not. First, let's start strong. Seven Nation Army. It is probably the most legendary bass line. Literally every bassist knows how to play it. But let's quickly check the band who wrote this song. Did you notice something weird? There are only two musicians, one drummer and one guitarist. Yes, you guessed it. This bass line actually was recorded using a guitar tuned down an octave. This is already too much. It is still considered a bass line though, because it's in the bass and low frequency range, but still, the original is played on guitar. I'm suffering. Next. The next bass line is from a recent hit song from Charlie Puth called Attention. I'm gonna play it for you. Pretty cool sounding, but let's quickly listen to the original bass line. I would say this is a real bass, but Charlie Puth himself reveals the sad and scary truth.
So everyone's always asking about the bass. Who played the bass? What happened with the bass? So that sounds like the realest bass ever.
I feel like I'm living in Spain without the S. But I kind of felt that was played on a keyboard sounded way too clean to be a real bass, and the quality of virtual instruments is rising so quickly that soon we might not be able to distinguish real bass from fake bass. We live in a society. Our friends drums are already suffering from this, like 99% of nowadays drums are just samples. Press B in the chat for drums. Next, Seinfeld. If you are a boomer, you are probably very familiar with this song, but not if you are young. This is a very famous bass part from this extremely popular TV show. Check this out. Now, this must have been played on bass, right? Wrong.
Then I used the bass, that slap bass, as the primary melody of sorts for Seinfeld.
And go off on its own, it is now the vilest, most disgusting thing.
Once again, bass has been replaced by a keyboard. They are stealing our jobs. Stop. Next.
You cannot hide forever, Davy. Keep your word and battle me now, or I will hack you. This is no joke.
Why is this guy in this video? Stop asking me for a bass battle, Davey503. I already told you what I think about you. Next. 24K Magic from Bruno Mars. The bass line sounds like this. In every live show, they always have a cool bassist playing these parts, but the original bass line is not played on bass. Shocking.
See that? Drums and bass is locking, right?
Yes.
Feel good yet?
Yes.
And you add
He used a synth bass, very fine instrument to play, but not real bass. Next, we have two iconic bass lines from Michael Jackson, Thriller. And Billie Jean. Again, in live shows, they have a real bass player, but the sad reality is that they were both played on a synth bass. You know what? I can't do this anymore. I'm just suffering too much. Which bassline shocked you the most in this video? Leave a comment now. And if you know any more basslines that were not actually played on bass, leave a comment now. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of OMG, I thought this was bass, but actually it is not. Remember to slap like, leave a comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Stay funky, bros. OMG, I thought this was bass, but actually it is not.